Hey guys, Mudslinger 2 back at you. In one of my other videos about the Power Pro braided line, I mentioned a Palomar knot and a double fisherman's knot. So I'm gonna put a diagram up for you to see. I'm also gonna show you how to tie them. So first, for a Palomar knot, what you would do, I got big string here just so it's easier for everybody to see. This is what you would use to tie to a hook if you're using braided line. Is the best knot for braided line, or to tie to a steel leader. So it is going to represent our steel leader or the hook eye. This would be represent our braided line here. So for a Palomar knot, what you would do is double up the end of your fishing line. You go through the eyelet, then basically you're just going to, as if you're going to make a knot. So we go through like this. Then you're going to take this loop and loop it. Bring your hook or whatever it happens to be through that loop. Then we pull this tight. They don't really cinch down kind of on their own. You have to help it out as it's going down. And that is a Palomar knot. That's one of your toughest knots for braided line. Anything that you're tying to. Okay, next is our double fisherman's knot. This is what you would use if you're going to tie mono to the end of your braided line, or if you're going to set up a reel with braid. I'll make a video on this later, but braid has a tendency to slip when you get under a heavy load if you run your braid all the way up into the reel. So typically you'd take a 2-3 foot piece of mono and tie a reel knot onto the reel stem, onto the shaft. Then you would tie your braid onto the mono. Reason being is because the mono will actually, it's got some stretch to it where braid doesn't. So the mono is going to stretch and actually grip on the reel shaft. And so if you get under a heavy load, sometimes your whole spool of braid, you could have 500 loops around, and sometimes under a heavy load, if you don't have the mono first, it'll shift, it'll slip. So this is a double fisherman's knot. For this, what we do, you take your two pieces of line, one being braid, one being mono. You go over your line and you work your way backwards. So you're gonna go 1, 2. On your second loop, you want to go back through both loops. You'll see it'll leave you with a little double knot. So that's on the bottom one. Now you do the same on this one here. So we're going to go back over it once, twice. On the second one, You go back through both loops again. Pull that down tight into a double knot. Now what we do is you pull on both pieces of string until the knots touch. Neither rope or fishing line or whatever it is can get past the other one because it ends at the knot. Basically, this will break before that slips through. So that would be how you would tie off. Obviously, you clip the two ends and it's going to be much smaller because you're using fishing line as opposed to a big cotton string. But there you have it. So there you have it. You got a Palomar knot for braided line to tie to a hook or to a steel leader, or if you're tying right on to a jig or a crankbait or whatever you're using, that's the go-to knot for braided line. And then you have the double fisherman's knot for tying two lines together, whether it be braid to mono, braid to braid. You got two lines and you need to tie them together. You don't want them to come apart. That's the go-to knot for that. Also works good on braid. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. I'll keep throwing them at you.